Hey guys, this is Mrs. Sauer. This is for Consumer Math, Week 9 of Staying at Home Learning for the end of year 2020. And this week we are covering transaction register and online banking. So our objectives this week is to learn how to use a transaction register to keep track of our deposits and withdrawals in our checking account, how to read a bank statement so that we can keep our account up to date, and also how to do our banking online so that you don't have to go to the bank to do certain things, and how to shop online to make purchases, which is really important right now when we can't really do much shopping outside of the house. So, to get started, we're going to start with our transaction register notes. So, I'm going to read through the notes and then elaborate on anything that I think needs elaborating on. So it says, never write a check or use debit cards unless you have enough money in your checking account to cover the amount that you're spending. A transaction register is a booklet that you're given when you open an account to record your withdrawals and your deposits for your checking account. Please keep it up to date so that you always know your balance. If you do not know how much money's in there, because you're not keeping it up to date, then that makes it easy for you to overdraw your account. And if you overdraw your account, then fees can add up quickly. So it's really important that you keep it up to date. If you're using a debit card, save your receipts, mark down what in your transaction register what you've actually spent so that you can keep track of how much you actually have in your account. So the register has places to record either a check number or a transaction code, the date, a description, the payment or deposit amount, and the balance after each transaction. So below here is an example. And here they have above the transaction register, they put AD to represent an automatic deposit. AP, so that's when you're putting money into your account. So like if you have a direct deposit for your whatever your job is, if you have direct deposit, then it automatically goes into your account. So that's what they're talking about right there, where it's an automatic deposit into your account. So you want to record not just your withdrawals, but your deposits as well. And then automatic payment, AP, that might be if you have like a monthly expense, like a monthly bill that automatically gets withdrawn from your account. A lot of places do that now, so that's what they're talking about there. ATM, so whenever you take money out of your ATM or deposit money through the ATM, you can mark it down that you did it through an ATM. DC stands for debit card. So whenever you are looking at those receipts from using your debit card, you can just put DC instead of a check number over here. D stands for deposit, and T stands for transfer. So let's look through this account and see what's going on. So right here, since we have the numbers 1091, that means that they wrote a check, and that was check number 1091 or 1091. They did, and it's always important to mark down the date that this took place. So they wrote a check on April 8th. I always usually put the year as well. And this is who they wrote the check to, Clark Public Utilities, for the amount of $124.39. Now you will see up here real quick the balance in the account before they wrote that was $985. So they had $985 in their account. We just wrote a check to Clark Public Utilities for $124.39. Since that was us writing a check, that means we're taking that money out of our account to give to this utility company. That's under the payment columns see how it has the minus in front of it? We will be subtracting that amount from our balance to get our new balance. So they took the $985 minus the $124.39 and ended up with $860.61. Then the next line, they did a cash withdrawal from the ATM on April 11th, and they withdrew $60 cash. So since they took money out, we need to subtract that from our last balance. So they took the $860.61 minus the $60, leaving us $800.61. For AP, that stands for automatic payment. So it looks like they belong to a fitness club, LA Fitness. So each month that fitness club automatically takes out their monthly fee for them joining or being a part of that fitness club. So it's automatically taken out, looks like on April 15th for that month, of $45. So They had to subtract $45 from the 800, leaving us a new balance of $755.61. Then they wrote another check, and this check number was $1,092 for April 15th to Meg's Hair Salon. They spent $64.87 there. So again, we have to subtract that amount from our last balance to get our new balance. Then AD stands for automatic deposit. So that's your paycheck coming from your job. It was wrote on April 20th, or it was deposited on April 20th. Since it's a deposit, it's adding money into your account, so it goes in the deposit column, and that gets added to that $690.74. So $1,875 plus $690.74 gives us $2,565.74. So you can kind of see as you go through, each time any money is taken out of your account to pay for anything, it has to go in the payment column, and we're going to subtract that from our previous balance to get our new balance. And you just continue doing that every day. So what I recommend is holding onto your receipts for whenever you're using your debit card. At the end of each day, enter those into your transaction register to keep your account up to date so that you know how much is in your account at all times, and you never have to guess or hope that the money's there, because we do not want you to overdraw your accounts and end up paying extra money in fees. So it says, explain why it is important to keep a transaction register. For that very reason, we don't want to overdraw our checking account. So by keeping it up to date, we know exactly how much money there is, and we know that we cannot spend more than what we have, not with a checking account. That's more of a credit card situation. But then you still have to pay that amount along with interest. So the reason the reason this is so important is so that we don't overdraw our checking account. We always know how much money we have, and we can budget ourselves based on that. So recording your transactions, the amount of money available to use in your checking account is called the balance. So that's how much you still have available. The balance changes after each deposit and each withdrawal. Whenever you deposit money, that balance goes up. Whenever you withdraw money, that balance goes down. So after each deposit, you must record it in the transaction register and add the amount to get your new balance. And after writing a check or using your debit card, you must record it into your transaction register and subtract that amount to get your new balance. So with filling out a transaction register, the check number is the number that's on the check, so you know exactly which check was wrote for what. There's the transaction codes are the ones listed down here. The AD for automatic deposit, AP for automatic payment, ATM whenever you deposit or withdraw money using the ATM, DC for using your debit card, deposit using a deposit slip, like when you go to the bank and you just deposit some money. And then T is an electronic transferred from your checking account. So if you transfer money to a friend or a family member, you can mark it that way. You always want to write the date the transaction occurred so you can check. So when you're done, so each month you'll get a bank statement that lists everything that the bank has down that went on with your account, so that you can go back with your transaction register and check off and make sure that everything's accounted for, and to make sure that the bank doesn't have an extra one that you did not do. So this is where people catch themselves when somebody might have gotten their bank account hacked and they have to close down the account, change out the number, and get a new card. So that's why it's super important to always make sure you're keeping track using your transaction register, and then check your bank statements when you get them each month. So the date's important because it helps you to easily check the stuff off. The description saying exactly, so you can remind yourself, what did I spend $68 at the hair salon for? Oh yeah, I got my roots done. That kind of stuff. I got my hair cut, that kind of thing. So just to help remind yourself what those payments were for. How much the payment was for, how much the deposits were, your beginning balance, and then your new balance. So it's always important to keep up your balance so you know exactly how much you have. And here it is, all those things, that 1 through 7 listed on here. So here's your check or card number or code number, the date the transaction took place, the description of the transaction, If it's a payment or a withdrawal, goes in that column. If it's a deposit, goes in this column. And then here's your old balance, your new balance after that transaction, your new balance after that transaction, your new balance after that transaction, and your new balance after that transaction. So you're constantly updating it. So your bank statement that I mentioned earlier, the bank sends out an account statement each month. It has a listing of all the withdrawals and deposits that have been recorded for your checking account. It also shows your available balance at the time the statement was created. By comparing your records with the bank records each month, you will quickly find any mistakes on your account. Below is a sample account statement for the transaction register that was on the previous page. So here's the bank statements. Our beginning balance was $985, and then it's listing all those withdrawals and deposits that we had on our transaction register. And what I'd like you to do is be able to go ahead and compare that to the transaction register. Let's do it together, back and forth. So on April 8th, we had the utilities at $124.39. That's what we had. I'm going to keep it like that. And then back and forth. I don't like it that it switches that. All right, and then we had an ATM cash withdrawal of $60. Boom, boom. That's true. Then LA Fitness was $45. That's the next thing we had as well. What else we got? Meg's Hair Salon, $64.87. Okay, and I'm just checking our final balance after that real quick. $60.90.74. That's what they had as well. So it's also important to check with there because you may have made a mathematical error in your computations just to see, make sure you did all the math right, you're adding and subtracting right, so that we have the same thing as well. Florence School District number 65, a deposit of $18.75. That must be where this person works. Yep. And that's correct. And then Lexi's Market, and then Joe's Pizza, $79.28, $24.18. Yep, those look good. Let's check our balance, $24.62.28. $24.62.28. Then we got ATM withdrawal, $40. Walgreens debit card, $18.45. Let's check those. Yep, looks good, looks good. Is that right? Did I miss something? Hold on. We got Walgreens, $18.45. Oops, wrong way. Okay, this one I did not see listed on our transaction. So that could be a case of maybe we accidentally forgot to write it down in our transaction, that ATM cash withdrawal $40, or maybe somebody used our card and somehow and got that $40 out. Let's check the last thing there, a cash deposit. So of $65. So everything was the same except for that one withdrawal of $40. So that would be something that we need to look into. Is that a mistake on our part where we just forgot to write it down, or is it a case of somebody's gotten a hold of our card number and has withdrawn money from the ATM somehow? But with an ATM, they need your actual card. So it could be a case of, hey, my daughter or my son took my card, went and withdrew money without me knowing it. That's something I would have to question my children about, or whoever. So that would just be something you'd want to look into. So any discrepancies that you find is definitely something you want to look into to make sure that you are not getting hacked in some way and somebody stealing your money. So that was the only difference we saw between the two. But this is why it's important to check your bank statement with your transaction register. So your first assignment for this week is to answer these 8 questions based on those pages. Let me make sure there's nothing in there that, yeah, that's all just based off of this assignment. So you don't have to go back to previous notes pages to answer these questions. And then I'd like to also, for our second lesson, talk about online banking and online shopping. So nowadays we do a lot of stuff online as far as our banking, so that way we don't have to actually drive to the bank to take care of it. So let's go through these notes. To bank electronically, you go into the bank's website and register for online banking. You will have to create a username and password. That way only you have access to that information. Then you can get into your online account. To keep your account safe, do not share this information with anyone. For extra security, you will also be asked 3 or 4 security questions. Each time you want to log into your account, you will be asked to type the username and password you created. Sometimes you will need to answer one of the security questions before you can see your account. So you'll be able to online take care of direct deposits, paying bills, and doing money transfers. So those are just a couple of ways of not having to leave your house to take care of things like that. So some of the advantages of online banking is you'll have daily access to your account. You can see your current balance and check on withdrawals and deposits. And it's a quick, easy way to find a mistake and to be able to fix it right away. Money transfers can easily be taken care of from one account to another. So if a family member or friend needs some cash and you're willing to help them out, you can do a quick money transfer that just takes a couple of minutes and they'd have the money right away. Direct deposits. You can also set up direct deposits that automatically come into your account on the same day each month. So your paychecks that are directly deposited, you can have that directly deposited into your account so that you don't have to wait for a check to be mailed to you, fill it out, and then take it to the bank and deposit it. You can just have it automatically deposited. You can also set up automatic bill pays, but just make sure that you're always writing them down in your transaction register so that you know that they came out of your account. So that just helps from having to write out a check, mail it into the place. It's just a quick, easy way to handle your bills. Just make sure you keep track of it. And then online shopping. So e-checks are a way to use your checking account electronically to make purchases online or to pay a bill online. So money can be taken directly out of your account. You just need your checking account number and the bank's routing number to create an e-check. So some places will let you pay with different ways of paying, like by using a credit card, an e-check, or PayPal. If you use the e-check, then you just write the bank name, the bank routing number, your name because you're the account holder, and then your account number. And then that money can go directly from your checking account to whoever it is you're writing this e-check to. A lot of people use PayPal these days. It's a service that lets you electronically pay, send money, and accept payments in a quick and safe way. They use special technology to keep your account information secure so nobody can hack your information. And you get a PayPal account by creating a username and password, and then you register a card. This could be a debit card, or you can use e-check to pay for purchases. When shopping online, most sites include PayPal as an option. So I tend to pay for a lot of things through PayPal because it's connected directly to my checking account, and so I don't have to use a credit card or anything and then start getting interest on those payments. Instead, I could just use PayPal coming directly from my checking account, and I love that. And it's nice and secure. So your second assignment is to answer questions about the online banking and shopping over those just couple of notes that we just talked about just there. Yep, and that's all coming from there, so you don't have to refer back to other weeks of notes. So this will actually be the last video lesson that I'm doing for you guys for this year, because next week will be your last actual week of having to do work for this class. And so next week I just made a review packet. It's like 5 pages, just a review packet of what we've covered during weeks 7, 8, and 9. So you'll want to look back at weeks 7, 8, and 9 notes for to do that packet of information. But it won't be anything new. So there won't be a video lesson next week. And then you'll be done, seniors. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful week. Let me know if you have questions about week 9 stuff. There's just the 2 assignments again. And if you need help, you can always ask me questions via email, or you can come to one of the team meetings that I set up and shared links with you in your email. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. And congratulations, seniors. Graduate, go out and do great things. Know that I love you and I miss you, and I wish I could give you big hugs because I definitely wish I could be there to see you graduate and to hug you and congratulate you. And this is hard. I know it's super hard on you guys. It's super hard on us too because we love that graduation time and being able to have that closure and send you off into the world. But I know you guys will do great things. You're amazing people. Just keep working hard and you'll do great. Love you guys.